God damn it, Star Wars. I wish I could quit you. So, I have finished watching episode 2 and episode 3 of The Mandalorian. And I freaking love it. My question 1 is, why hasn't Jon Favreau been working on Star Wars since the beginning? And I don't understand. You know, I wanted to go into this with a very bad attitude. I wanted to shit on this. I was looking for SJW stuff. It ain't there. This is a well-crafted, well-put-together set of stories. And I'm shocked that this is coming from a story, from a show that has, in the credits, executive producer Kathleen Kennedy. I'm assuming that they keep her locked up in an office somewhere, that she has nothing to do with it, because this show is really, really good. And it's getting better as it moves on. Unbelievable. So episode 2 is, now I'm going to get into spoilers here, so you've been warned. Spoilers for episode 2 and 3. 2's been out for a week. 3, we're going to get started on, but please know that I'm going to get into spoilers here. So episode 2 is, he just rescued the little Yoda kid, and now he's got to get back and deliver him. And the whole episode is nothing but him just trying to get back to his ship and lift off. And everything goes wrong for the poor bastard. He's got, he gets back to his ship, and the Jawas have stripped it like it was sitting in Detroit. It might as well have been up on blocks. And he goes after him on their sandcrawler, and he's doing his best to jump up on their sandcrawler and scale it up. And you think, I mean, he's doing a pretty good job, but it felt a little bit like the Indiana Jones tank scene. Like this here, where he almost got scraped off. Up here. I'm pointing the wrong way. It's up here. And then he well, let's just say that I could not think of anything but this scene from Monty Python. I appreciated what they were doing. This poor guy has to go through a lot of shit. So he loses, he gets tossed off the sandcrawler, lands on his back, and is unconscious for, I don't know, a couple hours. And gets back up, and he goes tracking them, because sandcrawler, I don't know if you know this, but it leaves pretty good footprints in the sand. And he heads back, and when he finally finds them, he works with the Ugnaught, who keeps saying, "I have spoken," and they come to a parlay. And it's kind of funny because he's just about had enough of them. He's kind of a dick about it. I mean, at one point he's like, "I'll just fry y'all here," and he nearly does. When he discovers them stripping his ship, he just starts blasting away at them, and they just go up like confetti. With this gun of his, which is I've never seen in Star Wars, but it's pretty sweet. He's got to put a cartridge in, he shoots, he puts another cartridge in. So it's not just, you know, like a blaster where you just shoot all the time and it never runs out of ammo. This one he actually has to do something with. So they say, well, we'll give you the thing, but you need to get us the egg. He's like, what egg? And well, they thought it's what Tim Allen thought was a garib neck. It looks a lot like that. It's a big fish with legs. And it tosses him around like a rag doll, and he ends up in the mud, and he just looks terrible. And he finally gets the egg because the little Yoda thing has the Force, because of course it does, and lifts him up so he's able to lifts up the big fish monster, and so he's able to stab it while it's helpless in the air. And then he goes and gets the egg, and he gives it to the Jawas. Jawas give him all his parts back. He spends a couple of days fixing his ship, and then he takes off. And that's the whole episode. That's it. It's just a little side quest to fix his ship and get the hell off the planet. And it was great. There was nothing easy about what he had to do. And while he has talent, he's not a what's the male equivalent of a Mary Sue? He's not a Gary Stu. He doesn't have that kind of I mean, he has to work at it. He's kind of a dick, and he's not always likable, but you can see what's coming. I mean, it's a baby. It's a baby Yoda, and it's as cute as could be. Of course, he's going to have a change of heart, but he doesn't have it until he gets there. He delivers the thing. He asks, what are you going to do with it? He can't get it out of his mind. He gets his bounty. The bounty is all this metal that the Mandalorians want. We're into episode 3 now. So he gets his bounty. The Mandalorians, it's all this metal. They melt it down. They make him some new armor. And they do mention in there that, have you ever taken your helmet off? He says, no. Have you ever had it taken off? He says, no. I found that interesting because it's like, well, will we see his face? I think probably, but it's possible they may have the guts never to show his face in this, and that'd be pretty ballsy on the move on the part of Favreau and Filoni, who's the other creative force behind this. So he has this change of heart. And he goes after the kid, and he destroys all the stormtroopers in there and kidnaps the kid. And then because he's a part of the guild, he breaks the code by doing that. So all the bounty hunters come after him. And there's a big firefight in the street, which is well done, well choreographed. And finally the other bounty hunters, the other Mandalorians come out of hiding and save his ass. And nothing felt wrong about it. Nothing felt forced about it. There was plenty of times. I tell you, I had more concerns about him in the rescuing the kid, even though I know he's going to get out of this. I mean, he's not going to die. But the way they set it up, there was a lot more tension in him just fighting through these little hallways and everything, and a lot more danger than there ever was with Luke and Leia and Han trying to get out of the giant Death Star filled with thousands and thousands of stormtroopers. And I don't want to make it sound like Star Wars is the original Star Wars is a problem with that. It's just that it's a light adventure, and it always felt like that. As much as you were thrilled to it, the danger, it's not to say there wasn't any, but it didn't feel like there was a ton of it. In this, I was concerned a lot of the time. It also concerned whether or not he would make it out with the kid. I mean, in the back of my mind, I go, of course he's going to make it out. Of course. Because get the rest of the story. What is this kid? We want to know the mystery. Just kill him right there, to kill the Mandalorian right there. Obviously, that's not going to happen. I know that. But the fact that the story was able to pull me along, I'm shocked. And I'm totally shocked that I like this as much as I do. I don't understand why they can't do this in the movies. I don't understand why they can't have this tight, well done storytelling with a character whose face I never see, that I'm more invested in than Rey. I don't get why this is so difficult for the powers that be. And I've heard a lot of people say, well, this feels more like Star Wars. I don't know. It feels very different, but it also feels very much a part of that world. This is not a light adventure necessarily. It's definitely a bit darker and a bit more. There's a mystery about it, and it's a little more somber. It's not a fun light adventure, but it's so well done, and it's so you're really immersed in the world. Even though there's probably some things that they do. I mean, they have a good budget on it, but that doesn't mean they have all the budget. Some of the times it feels a little claustrophobic, but I kind of like that. I really actually like that. It only does big vistas when it makes sense for the story. It's not trying to show, hey, look at our cool whiz-bang computer effects. It seems to be just trying to tell a story and using the special effects in service of that story. Holy shit, what an idea. So if you haven't watched The Mandalorian, I highly recommend you do. And perhaps, Star Wars to me was like a flat line. And now The Mandalorian's come in. I'm like, it's just beeping again for me. I'm starting to get some emotion back into the property again. I'm starting to feel again for the property and starting to love the world again. And I hope I'm not setting myself up for a fall. I hope I'm not setting myself up for a Game of Thrones style fall or a Last Jedi type fall. I hope that this is actually that they've kicked the Kathy Kennedy out of there, who I don't know if you've heard this recently or not, but apparently doesn't know anything about the property that she's in charge of. And at one point said, well, we don't have this giant set of books to build on. And we think that's a shot at Game of Thrones. It's like, I got them all on my bookshelf. What are you talking about? I mean, you don't have to make them exact, but don't tell me that you don't have ideas to build on or to create. And The Mandalorian is proof of that. It's absolutely proof of that. So, I don't understand why this has been so difficult. I guess if you have a political agenda that's more important than actually telling a story and catering to the audience and doing something that's fun, instead of making everything everywhere some sort of damn political thing that you gotta shove down people's throats, then maybe, if you forget about all that, you can make an actual fun story. And I know Favreau, he is definitely a SJW nut, but not when it comes to making stories. It's clear that he can keep that separated, because so far, The Mandalorian's been amazing. And I'm shocked to see it. I went into it, I looked at the trailers, and I saw nothing but diversity and SJW bullshit. That's what I saw. And it's not that. It's not that at all. And also, great to see Carl Weathers back in action. He looks great. And boy, black doesn't crack. So anyway, thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. Come to lastmovieoutpost.com right there. It's up there somewhere. And visit us, read the articles, and share these videos. That's the best way that get the word out. So thank you again, and we'll see you again soon.